Welcome back to another episode of MotoGP Mac, and today we're going to talk about the practice session that just happened for the French Grand Prix at Le Mans. Now, before we get into it, here's how it finished. Marc Marquez topped it from Fabio Quartararo, Pecco Bagnaia, Fermin Aldeguer, Alex Marquez, Jack Miller, Pedro Acosta, Maverick Vinales, Franco Morbidelli, Marco Bezzecchi, Luca Marini, Johan Zarco, Enea Bastianini, Joan Mir, Raul Fernandez, Aya Agura, Alex Rins, Fabio Di Gianantonio, Brad Binder, Taka Nakagami, Miguel Oliveira and Lorenzo Savadori. Now, it was a fiery last few minutes in it, but no one could topple Marc Marquez, who made it look pretty easy. The time was coming easy to him, where you could see with the others, they were building it up. I think Marc at one stage had maybe a 5 or 6 tenths of a second gap to everyone. Definitely was up around 8 tenths of a second to Pecco, but you know, Pecco and Fabio worked their way to getting closer to Marc. Still, you know, within 2 tenths of him, but you could see they had to work on it. And you definitely look at, in the early stages of the sprint, if Marc can get out and do that pace early, you know, he could and should control the race. Fermin Aldeguer, nice surprise to see him. Little bit surprised to see Alex so far back in 5th. You know, still only 4 tenths of a second, so not much. Jack Miller, another good surprise. Pedro Acosta, good to see him up there. Maverick Vinales, I don't think we saw the best of him. He did crash just before the end of qualifying, so don't think we saw his best lap. Franco Morbidelli, you know, not a bad one. Marco Bezzecchi, good to see him straight into Q2. Luca Marini just missing out on Q2. Johan Zarco did have a crash, so he didn't get a proper flying lap in, let's just call it, when he was going to go for it. Enea Bastianini as well, you know, not a bad session out of him. Definitely not the slowest of the KTM, so overall good for him. Joan Mir had another crash. Raul Fernandez did finish ahead, just slightly ahead of Aya Agura, if I'm honest. There was 2 tenths in it, but both Trackhouse Aprilia's over a second off the pace and struggling a small bit. Alex Rins, again, not really shining. Very big surprise to see Fabio Di Gianantonio and Brad Binder so far back. You know, nearly 1.5 seconds off. Taka Nakagami, not a bad showing in his first wildcard outing. Miguel Oliveira, 2.4 seconds. I know he's just back on the bike, but hey, you know, that is a lot of time to be behind. And Lorenzo Savadori, well, just doing what exactly I expected out of him. Overall, not a bad practice session. Kind of what I was expecting in a way, but Marc did make it look very, very easy. And it will be very interesting to see how tomorrow's race goes. Looking at today's practice, it does point towards Marc winning it in the sprint race pretty easily, but it is MotoGP and anything can happen. You know, Alex could find a nice setting or has just found a nice setting, and he doesn't have the pace or the gung-ho pace, but he may have a comfortable setting. Similar to Pecco, you know, it's very rare you see Pecco out so feisty, but can Marc be toppled tomorrow? Let's wait and see. But I would definitely love to know your thoughts. What did you think of the practice session, and who is your sprint race winner for tomorrow? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.